What's up? My name is John Profaci, and today I'm pitching for an expectation-free dating app concept that I came up with called EXOXO. Get it? Because XOXO, like hugs and kisses, you know. So, what are we? The dreaded but necessary question in the awkward early stages of dating. But in terms of our concept, we are the world's first ex-centric dating app. Get it? Eccentric because but it also sounds like eccentric because we're unconventional and cool. Don't worry, it'll make more sense this sec. So, one thing that people love to do on first dates is talk about their exes, which is generally considered to be a huge red flag. Maybe they aren't over them yet or have just arrived in the headspace where they can put themselves out there again, whatever the case may be. So essentially, we saw a need for a dating app that isn't a hookup app that allows for two compatible people that may still be hurting a bit from past relationships to meet and to establish a connection. And this connection could turn into a friendship or relationship or just an evening of shit talking your ex over dinner with a stranger. That's the beauty of it. So I will get into more of the specifics of how it works in a bit, but essentially we'll have new clients fill out a survey about themselves and what their type is and their preferences, and we will use that along with their geographic locations to create matches. And based on the locations of each client in a match, the app will then suggest a participating venue for the connection to take place in. And I'll get into more about what that means in a bit. So, what's our type? Yes, the dating double entendres are going to keep on coming, so prepare yourself. At our core, XOXO is for anyone who desires a connection without judgment or strict expectations. But our target market will be single individuals who have recently been through a breakup of some kind. And this could be high school sweethearts who broke up when they went to different colleges, people going through divorce, or even people whose partners have passed away and they just want to have a thoughtful conversation about them over dinner. So, what do we bring to the table in our relationship with the consumer? As I mentioned before, the expectation free environment where people are free to talk about whatever is the main draw. But in terms of the features of the app itself, we will try to streamline it as much as possible. We don't want to waste people's time swiping through profiles or anything like that. So that's why we're doing the survey route, like I was saying before. Basically, we match the clients with each other and suggest a place to meet, and off they go. And in terms of the place, like the meeting place, we are going to partner with local businesses to promote our app and generate customers for their business as well. And you'll see in a few minutes, a few slides from now, that this is actually how we're going to make money too. Okay, so how about all those other apps that they tell us not to worry about? Now, I've actually used all of these apps myself besides Coffee Meets Bagel. So I have firsthand insights into some of these as well as some of this other info that I got from a Forbes market research study. I linked at the bottom there. And I actually met my current partner of 6 months on Hinge, so some of these apps do actually have some merit, but essentially each one of these has its niche or gimmick. Tinder is known as the hookup app, and Bumble is the app where the women always make the first move. That's their shtick. And as a gay dude, I kind of found that to be a pretty useless feature, but I'm sure some people think it's progressive in terms of the reversal of gender roles or whatever. Then you have Hinge, which allows people to show more personality, which is definitely something I liked, but it still makes you spend hours sifting through profiles, which is something I didn't like. And then, according to Forbes, Coffee Meets Bagel is also popular, but I've literally never met anyone who's used it. Apparently, their catchphrase is the dating app for serious daters, which I feel like is kind of a turnoff. Like, dating is supposed to be fun and like casual. I mean, not necessarily casual, but I just feel like using that app would make me nervous. It's like a lot of pressure. It's like serious relationships. I don't know. And all of these apps charge money to use their best features, and some of them are pretty expensive. It's usually a subscription, like Some of them are 20, $30 a month. So I personally refuse to spend money on them, and just sort of let it rip with the light versions. But maybe that's why I was single for so long now. Who knows? Speaking of money, who's picking up the tab? Unlike all the popular dating apps in the market today, it is not going to be our clients. Instead, we're going to charge businesses to add themselves to our database of possible connection locations. They might provide EXOXO exclusive discounts or promotions to, entice people to take advantage of the suggested location. But yeah, and this isn't limited to just small businesses. If the app suggested that my connection and I go to Buffalo Wild Wings for their all-you-can-eat deal on Mondays and Wednesdays, I would be so down. But what we'll do for the small businesses, because we want to encourage support of local businesses, so we'll cut them a slightly discounted rate in exchange. In exchange for that, we'll ask them to advertise our app a little bit in the store, like little flyers at checkout, things like that. Maybe some stickers. Love stickers. But yeah, that is how we are planning to make money. So how will we put ourselves out there? In terms of our primary advertising strategy, I'm proposing we go the social media route primarily, and then see if that sort of takes off and we can go viral for cheap and try to not spend as much money on marketing. And like I said in the first bullet point there, it's a very memeable business idea. I think people will see what we're about and sort of our creative shtick with talking about your exes on the first date. And I think people will see what we're doing and start making funny videos about their exes and such. Like, I really think it could work. I think it could go viral and really get our name out there for next to nothing. But if the social media route and the ads and the small businesses aren't cutting it, then we would have to spend money on legit ads online, maybe a billboard. I've always wanted to design a billboard. I think I could do a pretty sick job designing a billboard, but they're expensive, so that's just something to think about perhaps down the line. Okay, so for those of you that aren't up to date on your texting slang, WYA stands for where you at. It's a popular phrase when you ask what area someone lives in, usually after matching on a dating app. Anyways, obviously we want our app to be used as far and wide as possible, but we just met. Oh dear, I'm on fire with the jokes today. But yeah, I think we start out in a large city or two because logistically it just makes sense, or the most sense with the population density and the amount of businesses. It would be relatively easy to get started in a large, densely populated city. So I think that's what we do. Okay, so finally, what are we looking for? Classic key question that defines where a conversation on a dating app will go. I had ChatGPT help me run some numbers on what it would look like to start a new dating app from scratch in today's market, and it came up with a range of estimates, and the average of that estimate comes out to $292,500. So yeah, we'll definitely need some serious investors to give this a shot, but I seriously believe this could work. But yeah, that's all I got at the moment. If you've made it this far, thank you for sitting through all of my cringy jokes and dating puns, and I hope you enjoyed. Thanks.